go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing.
Welcome to Crafty Beach. This is Julie, and today I have 20 Dollar Tree solar light DIYs for you, all with a little bit of a coastal flair. So let's get started. This first one is probably the most intense, but it's also probably one of my favorites, so I thought I would show you first. We're going to use 2 of those little plastic shell plates from the Shore Living line at Dollar Tree. And I want to combine them with one of those little Dollar Tree baseballs and light that up with a solar light. So it kind of looks like, you know, like a pearl inside of an oyster. It's kind of an idea I had, and I thought we could maybe pull it off if I can find a way to light up the ball with it. Now, I don't want this to stand out like too much. This is just the very top of the solar light from the Dollar Tree, and it's silver. They come in like silver and black, I think. I just go over and paint like all the silver parts just white with some white acrylic paint just to kind of make it blend in like a little bit with the ball. It is going to have to stick out from the shape of the pearl. There was really no way around that, but I think if I paint it white a little bit, it will make it blend in a little bit. So I want to go ahead and start constructing this thing. Now, originally I wanted to drill a hole in the middle and try to attach it to the stake. So I just used a screw to drill a hole in the middle. You might want to use a drill bit because the plastic does kind of split on these pretty easily. But I'm also just going to drill some extra holes in the bottom so that it won't hold water just because of the shape of the shell. I think it might hold water if it doesn't have some drainage holes. Now, again, I was going to attach it to the stake, the little light came on, and I was gonna try to do that with like screwing it into clay inside the pole, but I started it, but I just didn't think it was gonna work. So I'm just gonna weigh it down with just a wood circle from the Dollar Tree, just because it's so lightweight. I don't want it like tipping over, and I want to be able to use this outside. If I find a way to attach it to a stick, I'll have to let you guys know, but I just use a Dollar Tree screw that down into the wood. That way I kind of have just a steady base that I can kind of build it. Then I had to figure out how I'm going to be able to put the 2 shells together to make them look like one and make it look like it's open. So what I decided was I could screw them on. This project took me a while because at first I tried wiring them, and that didn't really work, and so the screwing method worked way better. But what I just do is I go in and drill 3 holes. I thought that would probably make it sturdier. Right here at the back of the base. Like that. And then I'm going to go in the top of the shell and do like the same 3 holes on that. You might want to mark it so you get them all in the right spot. I think I got like 2 in the right spot. So I did have to kind of fix it. But I want to kind of match those holes up together so we can put this together to make a nice strong piece. Now, I didn't really have like any short screws that would be able to work through there. All I had was like the Dollar Tree screws there. Like they were kind of like a medium size. And so that's what we're going to use. They're going to be a little too long, but that's okay. I just go ahead and fix my holes so they line up properly. And then using those screws, I'm going to screw all the way through. Since the holes were already like pre-drilled in the plastic, it's going to be a lot safer. I don't want to break my dishes. So that's another reason I'm going to use just a manual screwdriver instead of my power drill, because I didn't want to split the plastic or anything like that. I mean, it's fairly strong, but you know, working with it like this, maybe not so much. So just a matter of getting your holes to line up for this. And I'm just screwing from the inside of the shell back. And yes, the screws do stick out in the back. I'll show you how I overcame that. But it actually worked pretty well. It seems pretty strong like this. So here is my third and final screw. Just try to make sure you get it all lined up, got those all tight. And these are the screws that are pointing out of the back. So I have that clay that I was going to use to try to make it into a stake. So I thought I would just use that. Just air dry clay from the Dollar Tree. I just put it over my screws. But again, if you had screws that were shorter, it might work better. Or even if you had like a machine screw with like a nut, that would work as well. But we're going to work with what we've got here. And I got to this point, and I love like the iridescence of the shell. I was trying to decide if I wanted to paint it or not. The little plastic ball is white already. It does have the little lines on it, but that's okay. You know, it's not exactly like a pearl, but hey, it came from the Dollar Tree, so we'll make it work. And I just drill a hole right in there with one of my larger drill bits so I can stick the little light bulb down inside to light up our pearl like that. And that way it'll make it really easy. If I need to change out solar lights, I can just pop it off and pop another one on. This is when I realized that I probably do want to paint it. So I probably should have done this step before I put it on a base. So I just unscrew it from the base so that we can paint the back of the shells. I kind of wanted it to make it look a little bit more realistic. So I'm just mixing together some ivory acrylic and some antique wax by Waverly and get me a nice like tan color. And I'm just going all over with this with a brush, trying to get in all the places. I'm not using a chalk paint or anything like that, but I actually did get pretty good coverage. And that allowed me to paint over like the, you know, clay part too there, to kind of cover that up where we made the little screw cover. And I do that on the top here as well. But I'm going to leave the inside that beautiful iridescent, like it would look like inside of a shell. That's kind of what I'm going for. And I think that kind of brings it out more when you paint the back of these. So I'm glad that I decided to do that. Once I got that dry with the tan, I just go over it with ivory and a chunky brush. And we're just going to try to bring out all that great detail on the shell by distressing that on there. Just a pretty simple paint job, but you guys know I love DIYing with these shell plates from the Shore Living line at Dollar Tree, and I love making these shells and kind of making them look a little bit more realistic. So this is another DIY with that. Now, I know a lot of you guys are saying that your Shore Living items are gone at your Dollar Tree, but I wanted to remind you to keep checking because like I was just at a Dollar Tree today that didn't put the items out until after Easter, and they just put more stuff out today. So they might still have some. I also went in and just painted the base that same tan color, just to make it blend in. And look how cool it looks now with that like shell background with that beautiful iridescence inside. I think it's so pretty. So I'm just going to use my screw it back onto my base. And you know, you could probably use this down in your landscaping with a base like that instead of a stake. It might tip over if it's windy though. I actually ended up putting mine on a table next to my front door, so it's a little bit protected and it looks so cute. So here's our little pearl. Now I wanted something kind of weatherproof, so I picked up some of this super glue epoxy from the Dollar Tree to try to glue down our little pearl inside of our shell. It didn't want to work too good, but I did get a little bit in there, mixed it up. And, you know, it's kind of wet, so it wasn't going to dry like quickly like I needed to. So I did use a little bit of hot glue as well, just trying to make sure they didn't really touch the glues. And then I just positioned my little pearl kind of like with the little solar light leaning over to the side to kind of make it look intentional. And there it is. What do you guys think about this little solar light DIY? I think it is so whimsical and fun. This is what it looks like in the daylight. So it's still like super cute in the daylight, super sparkly with our little pearl in there as well. And then I will also show you what it looks like outside on my front porch. I did try it in my landscaping as well, and I actually liked it there a little bit better, but I thought with the base I made it as, look how beautiful this looks at night. And this is what it looks like on a table next to my front door. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So pretty. Okay, next, Dollar Tree solar light DIY. I'm going to use one of these little Shore Living jars. This is the bumpy one. That's like that beautiful like teal color, and it's great because it's already got like a wire hanger on it and everything. And another one of these little solar lights from the Dollar Tree. I didn't realize how many different varieties of the solar lights they have at the Dollar Tree. They have like 4 or 5, maybe more. Now, I kind of want to cover up that little metal pattern on the outside of it. So I'm just going to use some Dollar Tree rope. This is like, I think the thinner one. And I just start gluing that all around. What I want to do is sit this on top of the jar to light the jar up. But I want to kind of just make it look a little bit more coastal. And so I thought rope would be a good option. So I just go over the sides, cut that down to size, and glue it on. I think I made this one way, and then I kind of went back and fixed it a little bit once I saw what it looked like in the dark. But at first I just screwed off the base like that and left the little light thing on there. And I'm just going to hang it like that. So I just attach it with hot glue because I do kind of want it to be removable. If the little light goes out, I can always replace it with a new one, because hot glue is usually pretty easy to disassemble if you want to. And that looks really cute like that. But what I found was when I went and tested this in the dark, the little light fixture, if you leave it on there, it kind of focuses all the light right there instead of lighting up the whole jar, which is what I wanted. So I just popped that off and took the plastic piece off and reattached the top. I did that on a couple of them, and I went back on both of them and removed that. I usually removed that piece on all of today's DIYs. Now, I thought it was a little plain, so I thought we could take it up a notch by adding a Dollar Tree Shore Living sand dollar to the front by just hot gluing that on to the glass. If you want that to last a little bit longer, you're probably going to want to use like E6000 or something like that. But we're going for convenience today, and that's how that one turned out. I'm going to show you a similar one that I did too. This is also from the Shore Living line. It's that same color, but this one is like a fish scale or mermaid scale all over. And I'm going to kind of do the same treatment on this one. And I kind of display these the same way in my landscaping out in front of my house, but this one's really pretty too, I think. Now, I kind of wanted to do the same thing that we did with the last one, but instead of the sand dollar, we're going to use one of the little starfish from the Dollar Tree. I like the contrast of the white on the blue. I think that's going to look really cute. I can kind of make a pair. They're the same color, but they're different. They have different items on them. They have different patterns on them. So I just hot glue the little starfish to the front of that jar as well. And then we can start DIYing the little solar light to go on top. Now, these solar lights, make sure you test them before you buy them. Pull out the little cardboard piece because, man, some of them I did not test, and I think I had to throw away like 3, maybe more, maybe 3 or 4, because I didn't test them. So lesson learned. But I just hot glued that on the top of my jar, and then I'm just going to go around and finish this one off with rope, just like I did with the last one. You can do the rope part after you attach them to the jar like this, or you can do it while it's still attached to the stake, just kind of whatever you want. I do want to just kind of cover the top of it. Again, so if I do want to switch out the solar light to a new one, like next year, I would be able to do that pretty easily. So just leaving the little solar panel there on the top, exposed, so we can expose that to the light. And if you wanted to weigh these down to make them sturdier to put on the ground, that would be really easy with pebbles or rocks or something like that. But what I'm going to do is hang mine. Now, this is what they look like in the daylight. Our little jar solar lights, I think they're so pretty. And then what I did to display them in my garden is I found some of those little plant hangers, I guess they're called, from the Dollar Tree. I picked up 2 of these. One for like each side of my sidewalk, like near my entryway, and I hung them in my landscaping. And so let me show you what these look like at night outside. This is the one with the sand dollar. This one's probably lit up a little bit more than the other one because I do have some like dusk to dawn lights on the front of my garage. But this is the other one that's a little closer to the garage, and this is how this one looks hanging at night, all lit up. I think they're so pretty. I might reinforce them to the hook with a little bit, with maybe some wire or something, just because we do get a lot of wind and storms here in Florida. But I think they turned out so pretty. What do you guys think? Okay, next DIY is one of these little LED lanterns from the Shore Living line at Dollar Tree. This one is like the palm tree, so very tropical. Now, this does have a little candle already in it. I'm not going to use it that way, though. We're going to convert this into a solar light project. And I was able to find a square solar light at Dollar Tree, so I thought that would work really well right on the top of that. So I just popped out the little candle. And see how that fits in there just perfectly? I found, though, that out of all my Dollar Trees, these were probably the hardest ones to find, because I did try to go back and get another one, and I went to like 3 stores and I couldn't find another one. But I kind of want to still make it as a stake. So I'm trying to figure out how I can take it apart, add it to this piece, and then make a stake for my landscaping. Now, I wasn't that impressed with these lanterns, so I only bought a couple of them. I kind of wish I would have bought more because they're really cute with this. So I'm going over the wood with just a blue paint. It's just a Caribbean blue that I lightened with white. And we're going to go over there, but I'm also making sure I don't get like any paint like in the cracks of the design because I don't want it to dry that way. I'm not going to worry about the inside of the lantern box because you're not going to be able to see it. So just going on all 4 sides and doing a thin coat of paint. It doesn't take much to paint that like raw wood from the Dollar Tree. Just trying to clean up any of the cracks there with the tree as well. Using a Cricut weeder seemed to work pretty well. And then just kind of wipe off the excess paint with a paper towel. I don't want it too thick. And then I also am just going to, since I already have that paint mixed, I'm just going to paint the top of the solar light that same color just to make it like, you know, kind of blend in a little bit with the box and make it look like it's all one piece. So I just paint all the way around the solar panel and all 4 sides just of the top though. Now trying to put it together. This has a stake like inside there and it has like a square base. Now I thought that I could just glue it on there, but there were some little notches on there and I thought I could just glue them on like that. But I found that the little notches that were sticking up really were causing me issues and not wanting it to glue down. But then I figured out a better way. I'm just going to take this and go ahead and like install the stake by flipping it around and then putting hot glue on the bottom of the base and feeding it through the lantern like that and gluing it to the bottom. And that construction worked better. Definitely sturdier. And the hole where the candle was made the perfect hole for the yard stake. Now it's just a matter of putting this together. I'm going to leave the little windows on there. I think that's fine. I don't think that's going to cause any problems. I just need to attach it. And again, I'm just going to use a little bit of hot glue all around the edges. Just because I don't necessarily want it to be permanent with the solar light. Because you know, Dollar Tree electronics, you can't always trust them. And then I just put the solar light on top. It's a perfect fit with these. And just put my stake back on there and it's ready to go. I think it's so pretty. I love this DIY as well. So let me show you. This is how it looks again In the daytime, it's nice and pretty. It's coastal and blue. You don't really necessarily know what it's going to do until you light it up in your landscaping. And again, I might if I have to look for some more of these, because I put these kind of like in my bushes in the front, and it looks really cool out there. And it's a nice variety for a solar light that you're not going to be expecting. It almost doesn't look blue outside lighting up at night, but it is still blue. But that's how it looks lit up at night in my landscaping. Okay, next DIY. Check out this like iridescent square jar I found at the Dollar Tree. I thought this would be really pretty. I thought that iridescence would really show off nicely with the solar light. So we're going to DIY this and make a cute little beach jar with this that lights up at night with the solar light. I'm going to use Fairy Garden. I was trying to decide what I wanted to use in this, and I decided on the sea turtle. It's nice and big, and really that's the only piece it needs in there because the jar itself's not real big. So I think that's going to be perfect in there. And so I'm just going to glue that to the bottom of the jar with just a little bit of hot glue. I wanted to make it look like a little bit of a beach scene. So we have our little sea turtle with coral. And then I'm just going to use some of that Dollar Tree like tan sand and sprinkle some in there to kind of cover the base of the jar, but not too high. And then for a little decor, I'm going to sprinkle in some of those little tiny seashells that come in the little glass bottles from the Dollar Tree. Just a variety kind of all over to make it look like a little beach scene in there. Like that. Now the opening to this jar is a little bit larger than the top of the solar light. So I'm going to show you what I did to make it where I can still use it by using some Dollar Tree rope. So the rope is going to serve two purposes. It's going to cover like the screw on part there on the glass for the lid to make that look more finished. And so I'm just going to keep going around the outside to cover that part first. And this is that same Dollar Tree rope. I think this is the thinner brown one. It doesn't really matter which one you use though. But then I'm going to start here at the top, just slightly gluing it to itself, going in a little bit each time to make it like a smaller diameter so that the light will now fit inside. So that's what we have at this point. And then I'm going to just kind of finagle that little solar light cap until it fits in there, kind of by friction to hold it in place. Just kind of fixing the rope. I did get it a little tight, so I kind of pulled it apart a little bit there to get it all together. But I think that's good, and I can always change the top for this. This was my son's favorite. And so he got this for like a little nightlight for his room. I'm thinking you can recharge the solar panels on the top with regular light. So I think it might work for a nightlight. It looks really cute next to his bed. But this is how it looks like during the daylight, our little sea turtle in coral and our little sandy beach below. So it's super cute at the daytime, and this is what it looks like at night. It looks really cool all lit up because it's got like that iridescent kind of glow to it too, which I think kind of gives a fun like little under the sea vibe to our little sea turtle. And so that is another fun little shore living solar light DIY. Okay, this one I wanted to go bigger. So this is one of those large jars from the Dollar Tree. And then this isn't a solar light. This is a battery operated light, but it's also from Dollar Tree. It's got a little on off switch on it, and it's got a little light bulb inside that's filled with like little string lights all wound around, but it's the perfect size for this large jar. So I thought we could do kind of a beach scene with the fairy garden stuff, but do it on a larger scale. So I love all the beach items they have for Fairy Garden this year. They have this little lounger beach chair and a little beach arrow sign. And I'm going to use those. Also that little sand bucket over there and that little shorebird. And I'm just going to be attaching these with hot glue to the bottom of the jar just to make sure they stay in place. Kind of scattering these all over. So we're going to do like a really fun beach scene, but light it all up with that Dollar Tree light. I thought the little sand bucket goes well with those items. And then I had a little bit of room left, so I do the shorebird as well. There's so many cute ones. I try to only buy one of each. I think I might have got a couple of the sea turtle one though, because I love it. And just make sure those are all secure. Now, once I get those hot glued down, I'm gonna go in like I did on the sea turtle, and we're gonna fill in the bottom of the jar with Dollar Tree sand to make it look like a little beach scene. So just sprinkle enough in there to kind of cover the bottom, but not really cover any of the cute decor. That's what it looks like so far. Super cute, super beachy, I think. And this jar is really nice. I've used the smaller ones before, but I've never seen it in this large size. But look how perfectly the little battery operated light like fits on top of that wide jar. I think that's gonna work perfectly. So I'm just going to attach it with hot glue. The on-off switch is on the top of it, so you should still be able to turn it on and off. You should also be able to still change batteries if you wanted to. And it's also got the little metal hanging hook on there so that you can hang this as well. Now I did kind of want to like cover up the edges of the jar where you could screw the lid on and kind of cover up that light to make it look a little bit more coastal. So I just cut down 2 pieces of that white nautical rope from the Dollar Tree, and we're just going to go all the way around with those to cover up the little screw ridges that were there on the side of the jar and give it a coastal feel. I kind of wanted to see what it would look like using a different kind of Dollar Tree rope. So we're going with the white one for this one. And it did kind of give a different vibe to this. Now I'm going to go ahead and cover this as well, just to kind of continue that rope theme. And just going around and around with this one until all of it's covered except for the very, very top. And make sure you don't burn yourself. I think I burnt myself on this one. It hurts so bad. That hot glue gun, I love it, but man, it is incredibly hot. So that looks pretty good. And I can't really show you too well because all the sand kind of dumps to one side, but let me show you what this looks like. This is how it looks turned on, but in the daytime. So that white nautical definitely gives you a different feel to the top of this. But there's our little beach scene right inside. And you can hang this with rope with the hangers, or you can sit this around. This would be great indoors or outdoors for summer, I think. This is what it looks like all lit up at night. And make sure you get your little strings of hot glue there. I think I had a couple of them trapped inside. But another little fun option. Now I was definitely going through I have another one of those lights, but I'm actually going to use a solar light for this one. I thought this would look really pretty with that pattern on the side. This is another Dollar Tree jar with like that crisscross pattern. The first thing I'm going to do is fill it in with some Dollar Tree sand, give me a beachy sandy bottom. I just kind of want to do colors on this for the beach scene because you're not going to be able to see the details inside because of that cool pattern on it. But I thought some of these little glass beads or glass gems from the Dollar Tree would be really pretty. These are the ones that are like that blue glass that's like see-through, but also the white ones are more opaque. So I really want you to be able to see like the light through the glass. So I'm actually going to separate mine into like the blue glass marble ones and not use the like opaque white ones. And I kind of want just to kind of fill it up, make it look like ocean water, like sitting on top of the sand to kind of give an ocean feel. And using a little solar light from the Dollar Tree, That's going to fit on there pretty well on top of the jar. I did decide I wanted a little bit more of the gemstones. You could also do that with the sea glass that they have at the Dollar Tree. I'm not a big fan of the colors that comes in though. I think this is prettier, this blue color. Now I want this to be able to hang up. So before I attach the solar light, I'm going to go ahead and take some Dollar Tree twine and hot glue a little rope hanger on this one so that I can make this a hanging light like that. Now, once I have that on there, I can go ahead and hot glue on my solar light top. And I really just like using the tops for these. That just leaves a little exposed light bulb inside that will light up all of your DIYs. Now I want to kind of hide the sides of the solar light and kind of make the handles go straight up. So I'm going to kind of sandwich those under the Dollar Tree rope. I'm using the brown rope for this one. And I'm going around the glass first. And then I'm also going to do like the sides of the solar light. So this one's probably not as removable, but since it's glass and I'm gonna hang it, I want it to be strong and I don't want it to break. So that's why I glued the rope on both parts and not just the top of this one. So just making sure my hanger stays towards the top. I'm just going to keep going around it until all of the sides of the solar light are covered with the rope. This is like the one that has like the prettiest design at night. It's so beautiful. I have this one out in my Florida room right now and I'm really enjoying this one. So it took quite a bit, but that should be enough to cover the sides of the jar and the sides of the solar light. And we have a little hanging jar. It is a little on the heavy side with all of those little glass gems inside of it. And let me show you how this one looks. So we have our little ocean water on top of our sand, so you're getting that like slight coastal vibe. So it looks really pretty in the daytime. This is what it looks like in the daytime with the beautiful like rope top kind of hanging like a buoy or something like that. But then all of those beautiful blue gemstones, they look really pretty during the daytime with a little sandy bottom. Give you that beach feel. And this is the beautiful design it has at night. Isn't that amazing? The combination of the gemstones and then that crisscross pattern. And I think they have this in a few different jars at Dollar Tree with the crisscross pattern. I think they have a square one too. Both would be really pretty for a solar light DIY. I also wanted to show you what it looks like out in my Florida room. This is it sitting on my coffee table out there. It's just glorious. I love it. Okay, we have another solar light DIY. This is a little jar, I guess a little candle holder from the Dollar Tree. I think it looks coastal though because it has like the little jute twine handle already on it. So I thought we could try to do a solar light kind of on a smaller scale. But again, using some of these little fairy garden figurines from the Dollar Tree. This one just had like 3 different kinds of seashells. They're all really pretty and well painted. And so I think 3 is going to fit perfectly in this size jar. So I'm just hot gluing those to the bottom to make sure those stay in place. And we can make a small little solar light. This would be great on a little table or for like party decor or something like that. This would actually be really cute inside your house too if you could keep your solar light charged. So there's our little 3 seashells. Gonna cover the bottom again with a little bit of that Dollar Tree brown sand. I kind of like the brown better than the white, but you could use the white as well. Then I thought I would try a different option to cover the sides of the solar light. I'm going to use one of these little burlap bags from the Dollar Tree just because it's so easy to cut and DIY with. And I'm just going to cut out a strip about the same size as the side of the solar light. And I'm just going to cover that with burlap. I think the burlap's going to look like nice and coastal, but it's going to kind of give us a cleaner, different feel than the rope that we've been using on a lot of these solar light DIYs. So just gluing that all the way around to cover up the top of that. Now I can take the top of the little solar light off, again, just the top, and attach that to the top of the jar. It is a really good fit on this one, and since this one doesn't have like a screw lid on there, there's nothing really to cover up with that, and so this was a great reason to use the burlap. And I just attached that with hot glue. Again, I am using hot glue on purpose on these just because if I want to be able to switch the little solar lights, I totally can. And here it is, our little kind of smaller scale seashell light. I think this is going to be really pretty. I'm using this. I kind of lined these on the dining table out in my Florida room. I think they look so cute. This is how the little seashell jar looks during the day. As you can see, those little seashells from the Dollar Tree, beautiful colors, and see how well they're painted. And this is what it looks like lit up at night. It's nice and bright because it's a nice small jar, but I think it's super coastal and cute. And it does have a handle, so you could always hang it as well if you needed to. Okay, are you guys ready for another DIY? This is another smaller scale, but I found this candle holder at the Dollar Tree too. I think it's slightly coastal just because it's that beautiful like blue color, but it's got that beautiful like silver like bracelet around the top of it, like collar. And I thought that would actually match like the silver on the top of the solar light. So we could do something really pretty. But I thought that pattern on the jar would look really pretty at night if we lit that up. So I'm just going to kind of weigh mine down a little bit just to have something in it to weigh it down. So I just used some white pebbles from the Dollar Tree. Nothing that's really going to take away from the color on that. And then we can just attach that just straight on with no rope or burlap or anything on the sides. I do kind of want to make a hanger for this one as well. It's always nice to have that option to hang something up, especially a tiny one like this. And I'm just going to hot glue all that on the inside of the jar, kind of like we did before. And then when we glue the solar light on there, it's going to kind of seal that on there. And I'm using this one on my table in my Florida room as well. I just kind of lined some of the smaller ones up, and they look so bright together, all in combination. So I just hot glue that on there. It's a perfect size for that small jar. And again, we're just leaving the silver sides to kind of go with the silver glam effect. But of course it needs something coastal, right? These are the little blue starfish. I get these on Amazon. They are linked in my Amazon shop below. I get the ivory colored ones, but also the blue ones. And they are so cute and fun to DIY with. So check those out if you need some little tiny starfish to decorate with. But I just glue that onto the front of the solar light just to give it a small coastal touch. You could always do that on both sides as well. But I think that's pretty good. I don't think it needs anything else. So this is how one of the solar light DIYs look if you just leave it exposed. I did find in one of these DIYs that some of them have the smooth silver outside, but most of the ones I found had that texture on it. But either way, they're both pretty cool. But look at, this is how it looks at night. Isn't that beautiful? The light that it disperses everywhere is such a beautiful pattern. So I'm really glad that I picked up this little candle holder as well. And that's not a Shore Living candle holder. That's just in their regular like candle aisle. I think they have it all of the time. Now this one is a Shore Living candle jar holder, so I thought I would try it with maybe a little bit more of a coastal flair. This one has the twine wrapped around it with a little tiny starfish, and I thought we could do like a beachy small one. This one again is on my table out front or out back. It's, I think, good putting the little ones like lining up the middle of the table, which is what I did. So I just filled it up with some Dollar Tree sand, and again, using some of those little tiny shells that are jarred from the Dollar Tree just scattering in an assortment to make it look beachy inside, because you can kind of see in through the sides on this one if you look over the twine. And then I kind of want to make it look coastal again for the top of it. So I find it might be a little bit easier to do this while it's still attached to the stake. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go around the sides of this, attaching it with hot glue. That's just going to make this really easy to remove if I need to, and make it look nice and coastal here on the top. I think the brown rope is one of my favorite ways to disguise them. But I am going to show you some different solar lights I also have from the Dollar Tree, and even one from the Dollar General, because I got to 19 and I needed one more solar light. And actually the ones from Dollar General are 25 cents cheaper because they're only $1. So once I get it all wrapped, I'm just going to hot glue it onto the top of our little beach scene. And I don't do a handle or anything on this one. This is just going to be a little solar light that you can sit around just about anywhere. And it's a great use for one of those jars. If you don't want to use it for a candle holder, you can use it outside and use it as a little solar light. If you wanted to line like a path with these, that'd be really cute too. You'd probably want to weigh them down a little bit though, with maybe some pebbles or something like that. But this is how it looks lit up at night. I love that beautiful like blue color. And it's already got the twine and the starfish on there, so it's already very coastal. And then the addition of our little rope light on the top. And I think they do make the little solar lights that fit directly on jars that you can buy online, but probably not as cheap as the Dollar Tree. Okay, next DIY, I'm going to use one of these large like canning jars from the Dollar Tree. This is another version of the solar light. I find that the light on top of it is pretty much the same size. As you can see, it is like a smooth, shiny surface on the outside, but it's definitely going to fit even on this like large jar. I wanted to do kind of like a dangly coastal display in this one. So I'm just filling up the bottom of it with some Dollar Tree tan sand to kind of give me that beachy vibe. I don't want to decorate it too much, but I do want it to have a little bit of decoration. So again, I'm using some of those little tiny starfish that I get on Amazon. These are the ivory ones. They are different sizes, but they all come together. Sometimes you only get the tiny ones, but sometimes you get those larger ones too. I like the variety. And so I'm just going to kind of like toss some of those in there. What I want to hang down inside this solar light is one of those little dangly sand dollars. So I thought starfish on the bottom would be a nice touch to go with a little sand dollar. And these are from the Shore Living line. These are little wood beads with little hanging decor. I'm going to use the sand dollar for this one. I'm not a big fan of the navy on there though. I really kind of want to stick with the beachy blue and the white, and it's too long anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and take them all off and then just alternate like turquoise and white from the beads that were already on there. But then I have to determine how long I want it to be, because I want it to be able to like hang down in there. I think I ended up going with like 5 beads and then tying that off. And then I thought we could attach that to the solar light and like let it dangle down inside the jar. And again, this is a canning jar from the Dollar Tree, but definitely the larger one. So there is a little hole where the little light comes out. So I'm actually going to take advantage of that and just try to glue my twine into that with my hot glue. I was afraid it wasn't going to stay in place though, so I also like hot glue down like the very top bead to the plastic on the underside so that the light will shine down on it, but like be like right next to it and dangle down inside the jar like that. Now it fit in there perfectly with just friction, so I just popped it on there, no glue at all. But I do want to cover the sides where it like all screws in there on the jar to make it look a little bit more finished. This is that macrame rope that I've just recently been able to find at Dollar Tree, but you could always use like any kind of cotton twine, like cooking twine, stuff like that. It's going to give you that same feel. This, I like it because it's like working with the jute twine, but you're going to get a different feel when you use that white color. And I'm just stringing that all the way along the sides of the jar, but also on the sides of the solar light as well, all the way to the top. And I try to show you, but it messes up all my starfish, so you're just going to have to wait. Be patient. But I do kind of want to break up the colors on the top, so I thought I would use a little turquoise paint and paint like half of that macrame rope, this beautiful like turquoise color. It's like the same color as the wood beads inside. Kind of give it like a two-tone effect, and it definitely painted really well. It's okay if I don't get like complete coverage. It's going to give it a little bit of that coastal farmhouse feel that I'm always going for with these DIYs. But this was really easy to put together, and I think it's definitely really unique, and it turned out really pretty. So we're going to give that a quick dry, and then I can show you how this little DIY turned out. So there's our blue and white macrame lid with our blue and white beads hanging down to display a beautiful little wood cutout of a sand dollar, and finish it up with some Dollar Tree sand and some little tiny starfish on the bottom. So that's how it looks like during the daytime, and then this is how it looks all lit up at night. I think it's so pretty. I love the little dangly effect of that. I think that makes that jar candle like really unique. I guess it's a jar of light, not a jar candle, right? Okay, so this is also from the Shore Living line. This is my favorite one. It says sand and my favorite beach. They have these like different sayings and stuff like that. But if you can't find the beachy ones like this, the Shore Living line, I think they kind of have these kind of year round. You could kind of take the paint off and kind of make it your own if you wanted to. But not the sand from my favorite beach, but sand from my favorite Dollar Tree. I'm just going to cut the end off of a baggie to make it easier to get it in there without a funnel. I'm going to fill it up, not all the way, because I do want some area to be able to light up with my solar light. And this is one of the metal solar stakes from the Dollar General. This is the one that was only $1. It's smaller, and I thought that would be a good fit for this smaller jar. Again, we're using those little bottled seashells from the Dollar Tree. I put a good variety in there and make it look real beachy on the top of our sand. And see, this has like a small top. So I think this Dollar General $1 metal solar stake is going to be a good fit because it's a lot smaller, as you can see. So if you needed something smaller diameter, definitely check Dollar General, and it was cheaper. So win-win, right? So I was trying to decide, the metal just pops right off on this one. So I thought I would just cover this one with burlap as well, using one of those burlap bags from the Dollar Tree. I just used the little metal ring that was on it for reference to know how big to cut this. And that looks pretty good. I was trying to decide if I should include the silver part or just leave the black plastic. It doesn't really matter. But I was struggling to cut a straight line, but I think I got it. I decided to just go with the black plastic, eliminate a piece, and just hot glue that all the way around. Now, the only trouble I had with the Dollar General solar light compared to the Dollar Tree one is it has an on-off switch inside, which is great. But it did kind of get in the way for this project, and I'll show you what I mean. I do want to have some hangers on this, so I do go ahead and take some Dollar Tree twine and just kind of tie that around, kind of leaving that until I go ahead and get the light on there. So I just hot glue the lip, and I was just expecting to be able to put that on there, but I think the little power switch was like kind of getting in the way. So it did want to go on there super flat, and it was trying to like turn off the button on there. So I just pull it off, and we're going to kind of use that twine that we just used for the hanger to kind of fill that in, I think. then that just kind of gives me a surface to glue onto the top of the jar, and problem solved. So I wanted to show you that you could even do it with like the skinny bottles like that, especially if you have a smaller solar light like that one from Dollar General. Now I kind of wanted like a hanger. I kind of wanted it to have like 4 strings though. So I do another piece of twine, knotting that off on the other side, and that gives me like 4 strings that I can like pull up to the top and kind of just knot them all together to make a little hanger for this. So this little bottle can hang. Always a fun option, especially for a bottle. And it's small, so it's not going to be very heavy. And that's how it looks. And this is how it looks hanging in the daytime. It's super cute. I always love these little sand bottles with a little burlap on the top. Not real obvious that it is a solar light during the day. But I kind of think you could use this, you know, just sitting on its bottom, but I kind of like it hanging. And this is how it looks at night with some cute little Dollar Tree shells in there. Super coastal and fun. I hope you guys are enjoying all of these coastal solar light DIYs. I had a really great time putting all of these together. I did 20. I'm actually going to give you a bonus. There's 21. Okay, but first, I wanted to take a break and tell you about my Facebook group. I have it linked in the description down below. If you want to see what everyone else is working on, get opinions, share your beautiful DIYs, we would love to have you over there. I also have a Facebook page, Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest. And my handle is Crafty Beach on YouTube, and I would love to see you over there. Okay, next DIY. This is another one of the canning jars from the Dollar Tree, but this is the smaller one. I wanted to see if we could do something really easy and fun with a solar light from the Dollar Tree and some of those glass stickers. I do have some of the Shore Living ones, and I thought maybe we try the dolphin one. Now this one I really need the lid, so without like the canning top, I think we can make this work by attaching the little solar light to the lid because I'm gonna need it to be removable. And you'll see why here in a little bit. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just put hot glue around the rim on the top of the solar light and just glue that directly on top of the canning lid. It is a little bit smaller in diameter, and they're different colors, but we'll cover that up and make it work. I'm just using some of that thicker twine from Walmart, and I'm just gluing that on. I'm going to wrap that all the way around the jar lid and also the sides of the solar light, kind of making them look more uniform and like I did it on purpose. But since this is not rope, this is the twine, it's going to take a little bit more to wrap that around and hot glue it on. I'm also going to go in and kind of clean it up with a lighter just to burn off some of the fuzzies. Now, what I thought would be really fun to do with this jar was to kind of do like a colored water, like make it look like ocean water inside and then like do a dolphin on the side. I kind of wanted to do fish, but I didn't really have anything. But you could be really cute if you wanted to make a fish or something like that with your Cricut, or if you did have a fish. But this isn't going to fit, so what I'm going to do is cut this down and just use the smaller dolphin and just put that on the side of my jar. Now, one thing I noticed with these glass stickers that I've never noticed before with this is that I did get a little bit of bubbling, and it's obvious at night. I don't know if that will go away. The jar was clean, and so I don't know. But I just take it and fill the whole jar up with hot water, and I thought we could dye it. I don't go all the way to the top because I don't want the water to mess with the electronics of the light. But I'm just going to add some blue food coloring and mix that up. I thought that that was maybe a little too blue, so I do go pour some of that out and add a little bit more water to tone it down a little bit to give me a beachy blue. And that's why I needed the jar lid, is so that I can go in there, I can change out the water, I can empty it out if I need to. I could always fill it up with something else like sand and shells if I got tired of the water look, but I thought this was another fun variety. and something different from what we've already done. So here's a little solar light DIY filled with some blue water and a little glass sticker from the Shore Living line, little dolphin. As you can see, it looks great during the day, but let me show you what it looks like at night. See how it's got like the air bubbles in there? And I did try the other dolphin too after I cleaned and made sure there was no dust on the jar, and it did the same thing. So it must be something with the glass sticker, so maybe a decal or a different kind of sticker might work better, but we shall see. Okay, now I showed you these before. This is a different kind of the solar lights from the Dollar Tree. We're going to actually use these as solar lights, but I wanted to show you a fun, easy way to DIY them as soon as I figure out how to put this thing together. I did it. Okay, so these are great. I don't think I've ever really seen these at the Dollar Tree before, but they have these in silver and black. They are like the long cylinder tube-like ones, and I thought they would look really pretty in my landscaping. Put one on each corner so you can kind of see that at night. And I thought a quick, easy way to decorate the sides of that where it glows is to use some of these glass stickers from the Dollar Tree. And these are some of the new ones from this year. I thought like a sea turtle, a little crab, and trying to figure out what I have room for, maybe a dolphin. Just so easy. You could really use any kind of sticker. I think the glass stickers may be a little bit more see-through. I did not have the problems with the bubbling on these. Maybe because they're smaller, maybe because it's more opaque. I'm not sure. But I just pop the bottom back on mine. And again, we're just going to use these as stakes. I think they're nice and elegant. I really like the style on these. And I think those little stickers look great because they have like a gray or silver dots on them already. So this is how it looks sitting without the stand during the daylight. So you could always just pop the stand off and have a little standing light like this as well, which would be super cute if you did not need to stake it to the ground. Another great thing about the design of these. But this is how it looks staked into my landscaping out front of my house. And it was so easy to put together and inexpensive. I really like those. I liked the silver ones more than the ones with the black. So I actually got 2 of them. So this one is going to be, I'm going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it for the other side of my landscaping. And again, we're just going to use some of those glass stickers from the Dollar Tree. Online, they have the same glass stickers as last year with the Shore Living line, but in the stores, they have these different ones. And I love them both, but this year they had the smaller ones, like the sea creatures that we just used, and then these corals. So it's great for like a smaller project like this. Now that tag can be a little bit hard to get off. I just used a little Goo Gone to get all the residue off to make sure that's nice and clean. And then I thought we could fill this one up with coral. So it'd be a little different than the other one, but still super easy to just peel and stick these little glass stickers on the side. And if you're real creative, you could paint something on there as well. I'll go with someone else's art. And so I think 3 again would be a good number for this one. Just kind of decorating every side so it is cute from all directions. That's all there is to it. Another super easy Dollar Tree little DIY. I do go back and add some bubbles because, hey, why not? We're under the sea here, right? And I tried a starfish, but it didn't want to cooperate. I think that is really pretty. And I've used these coral stickers on a planter out front too, so it'll coordinate nicely with those. And look how pretty that looks in the daytime. So it's really decorative, more decorative than if you just left it plain silver and plastic. And then let me show you what this looks like all lit up in my landscaping. This is my favorite out of the 2 that I did. I really like the colors on this, and I really like the coral details. Nobody would know that these came from the Dollar Tree for real. So pretty and so easy. So I really only needed 2 of those, so I think those 2 are going to work great. Okay, let's move on to some fun stuff. Now, this is a little party cup from the Dollar Tree that's supposed to light up, but mine doesn't, but oh well. Because we're going to light it up with a solar light anyway. I just got to figure out how to do this. Now, this would be a really fun, whimsical decoration, or this would be a great party decoration if you were doing a luau or a tropical theme. But we just got to figure out how to attach a solar light to the palm leaves on the top of this cup. But we have to leave the little solar panel open so that the sun can recharge our little light. So I think really the only way that's going to work is just to cut all the leaves down into individual pieces, and then we can attach those to the solar light like that. And so they'll still come down like the edges of the tree. I'm going to leave the cup blue because I think it's fun and beachy. And I'm going to leave these green as well. So this was really easy to put together as well. I'm just going to use this like a party decor, but it also looks really fun out in my Florida room anyway, because I kind of have a tropical feel out there. So I could kind of use this year round. But I wanted to show you all the cool things you could do with solar lights with the plastic cups from the Dollar Tree that they have out now for the summer. Now, just to weigh it down to make it not so cheap and plastic-like, I don't want it tipping over, I just use some of those white pebbles and just go up a little ways in that to weigh down the base. And then I'm going to replace the top of it with this. Now, I actually made this DIY. Well, this is one of the first ones that I made. And so, yeah, as you can see, I forgot to take off the little plastic piece there because I hadn't learned. Because this lights up so much better without that little piece of the solar light that concentrates the light in one area. So I do pop that off later to fix that. So that's why I did that. And so now I just want to go ahead and attach all 6 of the little palm leaves. And so easy. You have a little bit of room around the edges where you can hot glue those on. And if you do block the solar panel, you're not going to be blocking very much. So I kind of go opposite sides, so those will be even, and then I'll do 2 on each side in between. And this worked out really well. It looks really fun and tropical, but again, it's nice and functional because it lights up with the solar panel. So it is fully constructed, our little blue palm tree. So fun. The solar light fits perfectly on the side, on the top of that jar. But this is me popping it off so that I can get that little plastic piece out of there, because it lights up the whole cup without it and not just a little part of it. So remember to take those things off, an important step in these DIYs. I'm just going to clean up the hot glue and then glue it right back on. So one reason why I'm using the hot glue on these, as you can see, it does make it possible to remove them if you need to. But you do need to have them attached so they will kind of stay together. Wouldn't this really be really cute like on a tropical luau party table? And it would be functional because at night it would light up as well. This would be really cute to line your path to a luau too, something like that, because they're nice and tall, and especially if you weigh them down like that at the bottom. And this is how it looks during the daytime. Our little solar light palm tree. They have these in different colors. If you don't like the color of yours, you might be able to change the color, but I kind of like the clear plastic because the light comes through it well. And this is how it looks out in my Florida room at night. It's very bright now that I took out that one little part of the solar light. And I think it looks really fun and tropical with my tropical cushion covers on my sectional out there. Okay, more plastic cup DIYs. These are also from the summer line. These are little iridescent seashells, and I thought these were really cute because they're kind of opaque. And I thought we could do 3 of them, put them together and make a hanging solar light arrangement with the little solar light sticks from the Dollar Tree. Now, they had these at the Dollar Tree. Also, they have a clear blue mermaid tail that I think would be really cute with this as well. I chose these because they were more opaque. I thought it would look really good with the lights in the side of them. So I just need the bottoms of the cups and I just need the tops of those solar lights. And we can start putting these together. Now the first thing I'm going to do is just start hot gluing some rope around the edges of these because again they had like the little screws there for the cap. And I just want to kind of cover those up and make it look a little bit more coastal. With this Dollar Tree rope, it doesn't take a lot to cover that up. And then I'm going to cut that down and glue it to it. Now we're going to go in and do the same thing on the other three. So basically I am doing the rope on the little plastic cups separately from doing the rope on the side of the solar lights. That way I can take them apart if I need to and replace the lights. And you'll see how I string all these up as well. So just covering up that screw part on all three. And mine just worked perfectly if you just went around with the rope about 3 times. And I hung this in my Florida room. It's kind of in front of my curtains. I don't know if it's charging properly there, so I'm probably going to have to move it. Thinking about hanging it right outside my Florida room, like maybe above my bench out there. And maybe it will work a little bit better because I think maybe I just blocked all the light from it. But I'm just going to burn off the fuzzies on those ropes to clean those up a little bit, and then we can start putting the little solar lights on them. Now, you guys asked for solar light DIYs with a coastal feel, and I think I may have went a little crazy making 20, but I wanted to give you guys a wide variety and lots of ideas that you could use. So I just used that Dollar Tree twine. I just cut out a rather large piece and glue that on the inside so we can make little hangers. I want to hang them all together, like in one little arrangement, kind of like you would hang like a wind chime or buoys or something like that, but just with seashells. So I do that on all three. So right now they're still kind of all separate pieces, but they all have long rope handles. Now I just do a bead of hot glue all the way around and just glue on one of those little solar lights to the top, kind of sandwiching in the handle. That's going to make the handle a little bit stronger. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing here with the other two. I don't know if you guys have allergies really bad right now where you live, but where I live in Florida, I have been suffering for weeks. My eyes are completely swollen shut in the morning. Now they're like, crusted shut. Oh my gosh, I have been struggling so hard with my allergies. All of my normal things are not working, and I'm really not wanting to go to the doctor to get a prescription for some steroids, but I probably should. Today, I reverted to trying some herbal medications for it, and actually, I think I might have had a little bit better effect with them, but it's so embarrassing. I can't wear my contacts, and everywhere I go, my eyes are all swollen. It looks like I've been in a fight or something. Hopefully it's about over because I can't take much more of it. So as you can see, I'm just tying them to each other, like right above their solar light. I just loop that around and tie it, and I do that on both of them. You want to make sure that you don't get them so close that the light from one is too bright for the solar panel on the bottom because, again, they only turn on when it's dark. So I tried to stagger them, like completely kind of one completely on top of another, and that seemed to work. I also wanted them to hang a little bit straighter, so I'm just going to glue the twine on the sides of the little solar lights. And as you can see, that one in the middle is a different kind of light. That's why I put it in the middle, because it was different, but I guess some of those lights from the Dollar Tree do have that smooth surface on the side. So if that's what you're looking for, you might be able to find those as well. Again, they have so many varieties. I couldn't believe it. And I just leave the silver on these. I think it's fun. It adds to the coastal feel. And this is how they look hanging during the daytime. Very cute white shells. I'm going to use these year round, but these would be great for a beachy decor. These would also be great for a party for decorations. And these are how they look lit up at night. I think that the opacity of the plastic, I think it makes them really bright, like they really glow white, and I think they turned out really fun. I like that I grouped them all together like that. It makes it like more substantial project. Okay, this isn't a plastic cup, but it is plastic. These are those little terrariums from the Dollar Tree. So I thought, hey, why not? It's a giant light bulb. Let's see if we can make this one into a solar light too, and let's see if we can make it coastal while we're at it. So again, using some of the Beach Fairy Garden. These were a great excuse to use these because I have so many Beach Fairy Garden figurines from this year, and I used so many today. Okay, so I just glued the little palm tree right in the center of the light bulb like that. That's about all I think is going to fit in there. It's not super big. Now, it does have the hole in the side of it, and so that does pose a little bit of issue because I do pour a little brown sand in there, so I can't do very much because I don't want it all dumping out on the side of the hole. Now, I was trying to determine, could I attach the little solar light to that hole in the back, but I found it was really distracting. If you looked through the light bulb, you could see the black plastic, you could see the big silver thing sticking out the side of the light bulb, and it just kind of seemed unnatural there. So I'm just going to leave the hole open, and we're just going to replace the top of the little light bulb with the solar light instead. It's not what I originally planned, but it worked so much better that way. So I just glue around, and this is a little bit wide for the solar light. And I do want to hang it as well. So before I go ahead and put it on there, I'm just going to put some twine in there and glue that on the inside of each side so that I can hang this. And I actually hung this from like a plant hook out in my Florida room. So one of those smaller ones from Dollar General would probably work better because it was a little wide for the top of the light bulb, but we'll disguise it a little bit with some Dollar Tree rope just to make it look more intentional. And to cover up all the area there that we had to expose by taking the top of the light bulb off. So just using that thinner Dollar Tree rope, I'm just going through and filling that in. I'm also kind of sandwiching in that hanger, which is going to make the hanger stronger as I hot glue the rope over the sides. And again, if I could do this over again, I would probably use the smaller one, but I didn't have a smaller one at the moment, so we're going to make it work. So once I get there, I'm going to cut that off and glue that down, trying not to dump all of my sand out. But I think the little palm tree with the little surfboard is so cute in there, and there is a little hanging light bulb. I think we made it work, and it lights up really well. So this is how the little light bulb terrarium from the Dollar Tree looks, combined with a solar light. And of course, we gave it that coastal beachy touch with the rope and the little palm tree and sand inside. Super fun, and this is great to hang because it's plastic, so if it falls, you're not going to have to worry about broken glass or anything like that. Which I usually hung most of my plastic things. The only thing glass that I hung was those blue jars before with the plant hooks. But if they fall, they're not going to fall very far, I don't think. But that's how it looks hanging out in my Florida room. I think it's nice and vibrant and fun. Now, this is another one of the summer cups from the Dollar Tree that I thought would be really fun to do. You could do like a little summer beach theme with these, but I think it'd also be really great for a party or a luau. But we've used rope a lot, so I want to try to use some different ways to disguise the sides of the little solar lights. So this is some of that spring ribbon and that bright pink color. I think that's going to coordinate nicely with our little flamingo. And the top of that cup is just about the right size for one of these little solar lights to fit right on top. And you're going to have a little light up flamingo light, which is really fun. I like decorate with flamingos year round. You guys know me, so. I also think that if you did a bunch of these and strung them together, like party lights, or if you strung them together like we did the seashells, it would look really cute. I'm just going to do one to kind of show you how it will look for fun, but that's how it looks at this point. Now, I do want to kind of disguise the little area where I unscrewed the lid, and I wanted to try a different kind of rope. So this is some of that white nautical rope from the Dollar Tree. Kind of the thicker, so it doesn't take much, right? Just to kind of see if you get a different vibe by using a different rope. And I think so. I think that white contrasts nicely with our little pink flamingo too. And now we can just glue on the top, which is the little solar light with the pink ribbon on it. And how easy is that? If you're like preparing for a party, I'm just going to make mine a little table decoration, which would look great on a party table. But if you wanted to make yours hung or strung them all up, I think that would be so cute too. This is how our little flamingo looks during the daytime, so he's super cute and tropical. Now, when he lights up at night, I notice most of him lights up. Maybe not his head so much, but let me show you how he looks at night as well. Nice and bright and pink. And wouldn't that look cute if you like strung these up as party lights? I think that would look really fun. Very whimsical. And you know, I love decorating for like luau, tiki parties, stuff like that. I think that would be great for it, but I also think this little plastic cup from the Dollar Tree would be perfect. They had these in all different colors. They had these small cups like this. They also have the large ones that you could use as well. And since they're that blue plastic, it's going to make it glow nice and blue. And you're going to get that fun little tiki face in there. It reminds me of Hawaii. And I thought we would try something different to cover the sides of the solar light because we've used rope a lot. So let's try using one of these like little spring purses from the Dollar Tree. I think this always gives me like a nice like seagrass look. Kind of what I was going for on this one was kind of like a little bit of a grass skirt vibe, but on a very small scale to kind of cover up the top parts of the solar light. So I'm just cutting around just to cut strips out of this. And I think that's going to work really fun. It's going to go with the theme of this, like the little luau tiki theme. So I'm going to use one piece to cover with the screw part of where I took the lid off this little cup. And they had these in all different colors. It'd be cute if you lined these up, different colors, or these would look really cute if you strung them up as well. I'm just going to try to do some party table decor for these. Now I'm going to use that same little purse from the Dollar Tree and cover the sides of the solar light as well. It is going to take a couple strips to go all the way around. And definitely disguises that. It makes it look more intentional with like that grass skirt vibe. It's going to go more with the theme. I did kind of want to cover it all the way, so I'm going to do a third row, just kind of overlapping them as I go. And I think that looks pretty cool. So we're just going to pop that off, the little solar stake. And again, we're just going to attach it to the top. But I don't want it to fall over because it's just plastic again. And so I'm just going to put some white pebbles in the bottom, just something to weigh it down, but not something that you're really going to be able to see from the outside. I don't want to take away from that cool pattern. And this one looks so cool when you light it up at night because it gives you that fun tiki pattern and the light pattern when you light it up. So I just attached that with hot glue. And I think that little purse worked great to cover the top of it. This is how our little tiki cup looks during the daytime. Still super cute and really themed. I have several luau videos on my channel. If you're looking to throw a luau party with supplies from the Dollar Tree, I've got some really fun ideas for you, but this would go nicely. See how it kind of gives you that face glow pattern like all over the place? So very detailed, and it's so bright at night with the solar light inside, and this would definitely be perfect for a night-themed tiki party. Okay, this is number 21 because it's not really a solar light. I am going to use one of these little lanterns from the Shore Living line. They had these in like coral, they had them in starfish, but they're battery operated candles. So at first I was going to try to convert it into a solar light, but to have the solar panel exposed, I would really have to dismantle the entire top, which is kind of the cutest part of this little lantern box. So we're just going to use batteries and let it be a little light up candle that we can turn on and off. That's why this is bonus number 21. We're not going to count this because this wasn't a solar light. But most of them were, right? So I just used Dollar Tree twine to string that up, and then you can hang this just about anywhere. But another little fun Dollar Tree coastal light technique. And this is how it looks during the day. Basically all I did was string it up and put some batteries in it. That's my kind of DIY. If you wanted a little variety, you could paint the starfish different colors, but I really love that color, so I kind of left it as is. These are a really nice size too. This is how it looks lit up at night. I picked up this one. I also picked up another one that's white with like coral cutouts on the side, and I think they're both really fun. I hope you enjoyed all of these little coastal solar light DIYs today. I hope you got lots of inspiration. And I wanted to tell you I've introduced memberships on my channel. For $4.99 a month, you can help support my channel here. You're going to get early access to my videos, ad-free while they're early, and you're going to get other perks as well, including shout-outs. I have 6 members now, so I want to give a huge thank you to Coastal Couple, I Am Mojo Jojo, Karen O'Haron, Lee Ann, Pamela Bergeron, and Sally Cooper. Thank you so much for supporting my channel here on YouTube. Your support means the world to me and helps keep these videos coming. Now, it's time for the final reveal. Here we go. Don't forget to like this video, comment your favorite DIY below, and don't forget to subscribe. We're on our way to 20,000 subscribers.
For better days to come and carry us like wind in our sails. Hold on tight, I can smell the shore, it's right in front of us if we just hold on tight. This vision that I saw is getting closer every dawn. We are dreamers of the shore. Seven years now on this boat, and we all know where we belong. Just wait. For our home to show on the horizon, soon we'll be there. Hold on tight, I can smell the shore, it's right in front of us if we just hold on tight. This vision that I saw is getting closer every dawn. We are dreamers of the shore when we can't read the sky. We just sail with the wind that we've got, and when we're drowning in doubt, just keep on believing. We are dreamers of the shore. Look ahead, the sea is calm, and I know we've been through a lot, but just wait. Wait for better days to come and carry us like wind in our sails. Hold on tight, I can smell the shore, it's right in front of us if we just hold on tight. This vision that I saw is getting closer every dawn. We are dreamers of the shore. 7 years now on this boat, and we all know where we belong. Just wait. Wait for our home to show on the horizon. Soon we'll be there. Hold on tight, I can smell the shore, it's right in front of us if we just hold on tight. This vision that I saw is getting closer every dawn. We are dreamers of the shore. When we can't read the sky, we just sail with the wind that we've got. And when we're drowning in doubt, just keep on believing. We are dreamers of the shore. Look ahead, the sea is calm, and I know we've been through a lot, but just wait. Wait for better days to come and carry us like wind in our sails. Hold on tight, I can smell the shore, it's right in front of us if we just hold on tight. This vision that I saw is getting closer every dawn. We are dreamers of the shore. Now on this boat, and we all know where we belong. Just wait.
Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to watch more Crafty Beach, YouTube thinks you might enjoy this video right here.